pitiful. That's pitiful.
I say it louder for the people in the back.
Pitiful.
That's
pitiful.
I've never seen that animated.
Do you get my point? Hey, Kobe's a
Not
competitor.
really.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you get my point. Come on.
It
does not make sense why the Clippers did this. I don't understand it. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dummies on the Hardwood. I just only got Benny with me tonight. Isaac couldn't make it tonight. For those of you who are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and show the love. Before we jump into today's episode, we want to give a big shout out to those of you who have supported us on YouTube, TikTok, and all the platforms. You know, we thank you.
Yep, and big shout out to one of my boys, Daniel. Thank you for support. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for everything, man. Thank you for continuing to show the love for the Dummies on the Hardwood fam. And again, for those of you who have not subscribed to us, make sure you guys have subscribed to us on all platforms.
All right.
What was that?
It was a hit the subscribe
Hit the
button.
subscribe button. That was a terrible one, man. I'm unsubscribed from this one. All right, what are we talking about?
Oh man, it's
We
been
got a lot to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
It's been an eventful week in the NBA. Currently, in this present moment right now,
Yep.
a lot of big headlines. Giannis, his future in Milwaukee is in doubt.
Yep.
And CP3's unfortunate exit from the Clippers. Before we go down those roads, I want to start off with the Milwaukee situation with Giannis.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what's going on right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks is potentially on his way out from Milwaukee. It's been a frustrating year for the Bucks per se. As of we speak, they lost, about 7-8 games in a row.
Yeah.
And
mediocre
loss.
But they beat the Pistons recently.
They beat the Pistons
at the time of this recording.
Yeah, but they lost to the Wizards.
Yeah.
And so, it's looking bleak right now for Milwaukee in terms of whether or not Giannis will want to stay. What are your thoughts on that, Benny?
I don't know, man. Like, we've been hearing the same thing with Giannis. He's going to be traded, this, that, and the third. I mean, like, if it was going to happen, it would have happened already, man. Like, I'm tired of hearing the same talk. But, it looks like this one seems to be for real. I mean, like I said, with Giannis and his agent going out there talking about, like, how we want to, have requested for a trade or something to happen. But, again, how many times have we heard that in the last few years
That's
or
what
so?
I'm saying.
So, I don't know if I can take this report seriously. To be honest with you, I don't buy this report at all. I think it's just bogus because, like I said, if this trade was going to happen, it was going to happen. And it ain't happened yet. So I don't think we should really necessarily hold our breath on this one because Giannis says this, but we know deep down his loyalty is with the Bucks. However, we know he wants to compete. There's no denying that he wants to compete. But, I mean, hey, the Bucks, I don't know. It seems like the Bucks have failed him. Do you think they failed him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I'm gonna disagree with you because I do think this time around, I think, Giannis approaching he's in his early 30s now.
Yeah,
his time in Milwaukee, first of all, he wants to compete, and right now, that Bucks roster currently constructed is not going to compete.
No, without a doubt.
Not with Miles Turner. I mean, when the Bucks waived Damian Lillard to sign Miles Turner, I was just like, what are you guys doing?
That was a terrible move.
That was an awful move.
That was terrible,
That was
man.
awful. Like, I mean, yeah, I understand, like, Damian Lillard's going to be out, but for Miles Turner, you're going to waive $110 million for Miles Turner. What did you
sign
get
him
back?
for, like, what, 70 or 80 mil?
No, you signed him for $100+ million.
Really? I thought it was like 78 mil.
No, it was 100.
Man, I don't know what in the world I'm in.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, the Bucks have really, they have not done enough to appease Giannis. I mean, let me take that back. They
kept the Nasses.
They did.
They got the Nasses back.
But I mean, like, we look at the past and with Drew Holiday, the Bucks had to give up a lot to get Drew Holiday and brought him a championship. But after that, the Bucks became like first round, second round exits.
But that's where they messed up.
And and they traded for Damian Lillard. They traded Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard.
That was their biggest mistake.
They traded Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. Drew Holiday gets bought out by the Blazers, then resigns with the Celtics, wins a chip for your rival.
Yeah.
For your rival.
Talk
wins
about
a
the
chip.
biggest middle finger to you.
Yeah.
That's
wins
a
a
big
chip.
old middle finger.
Then leaves and goes back to the Blazers. So, the Bucks have really, it's just an unfortunate situation because I do think that Giannis wants to compete and wants to win. Yes, I know he loves Milwaukee, but he is a competitor and he's going to dip. Like I can see him dipping.
I don't know, man. Look,
I see him dipping.
I don't know. We've been hearing this story.
I see him dipping.
I'm not sold on it yet, and here's why. Like I said, we've heard this report several years now. Rumors rumbling. Giannis wants to get traded. This, that, and the third. But what's happened? He still stays with the Bucks. Right? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Exactly. So I don't know. Maybe the Bucks need to make a few moves. I mean,
but with what? What are the Bucks gonna do to appease Giannis?
But that's the thing. It's like there's not a lot of players you can move because
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, Kyle Kuzma.
I mean,
you're not gonna ship Turner because you just signed him, so it wouldn't make sense for that. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm not fully bought in on this because we've seen the same story over and over and over and over. It's like with Jimmy Butler. We saw the same thing over and over and over till he finally got traded and he ended up playing with the Warriors. And, Giannis, he's not going to take any days off like Jimmy did when he wanted out of Miami. Right? So, I don't know. I'm not really sold on this.
I mean, I agree to some extent. Like, Giannis over the past few seasons has played mind games with the fans and the media and, everybody around him because, he'll say like, oh, I want to stay, but then his loyalty's with the Bucks. I get that 100%. I 100% get that. But this time around, I don't think Giannis has enough time to sit around and wait for the Bucks to make a move because realistically speaking, what can the Bucks do to appease Giannis? Who else can they trade for right now currently? Who else?
I mean, that's actually good because we're actually sliding into that.
And
man.
I mean, one of the trades that we cooked up was the Knicks, Warriors, and Bucks. Giannis ending up in New York, where he preferred to be, where quote unquote he wanted to go. Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and Cole Anthony. The Warriors get Mikal Bridges and Gary Trent. The Bucks get Cat, Kuminga, Buddy Hield, Deuce, and Warriors picks, Wizards picks, Knicks picks, pick swaps.
Multiple picks. Just multiple picks.
Multiple picks. So, I mean, do I see that trade happening? No. Realistically speaking, the Knicks don't seem like a great fit because Karl Anthony Towns doesn't help rebuild your future. You need to get youth. So where's the next logical team? The San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs make the most sense.
Yep.
Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, expiring Keldon Johnson, and multiple picks.
How many times we heard Keldon Johnson in trade rumors, man? It's been too long, man.
It's been too long.
They need to move on from him. I'm sorry.
It's been way too long.
It is what it is.
But no, I could see theoretically Giannis going to the San Antonio Spurs.
And that would make more sense. And then that would get rid of my overrated talk for San Antonio because until they make a move, I'm not sold on the Spurs.
I'm not sold on the Spurs. If the Spurs were to trade for Giannis, imagine Giannis and Wemby.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god, that's
unfair.
That NBA, they're gonna dominate.
Talk about
the NBA.
A cheat code. That's a cheat code for all teams. But again, I want to kind of go back onto the Giannis and him wanting to trade and stuff like that. I mean, look, we all know Giannis's background. He didn't grow up in the best of he didn't have the silver spoon, so to speak, right? So he had to earn everything he got.
Great situation.
Yeah. So he worked hard. He did what he could, and deep down, I feel like his loyalty. As much as, he is a competitor and he wants to compete, we all know deep down his loyalty still stays with Milwaukee.
No.
So that's why I'm not really buying this rumor because at the end of the day, he's a Bucks for lifer. If he gets traded, if he does, I will not associate Giannis with that team. I will not. I will always associate him with the Milwaukee Bucks. So if he leaves and he decides he wants to trade...
But Giannis wants to compete.
I get that. But at the end of the day, loyalty. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, think about all these star players who are on teams. Look at Kobe when the Lakers were sucky. He wanted to trade. Did he get traded? No. Do you get my point? Kobe's a competitor. Really. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you get my point. Come on. You get my point. Stop playing. You know it.
No.
Yeah, there's plenty of star players
Kobe really wanted out, but that we're not going down that road.
Whatever, man.
I'm not going down that road.
I'm just saying
because at the time it was either you had to trade Shaq or Kobe, and if Shaq wanted to stay, and if Shaq was going to stay, Kobe wanted out. That's the bottom line. Yeah, the Spurs make the most sense to me. I do.
Spurs make the most sense. I know. I think Isaac cooked this up a little bit. I think. He cooked up the trade. But
shout out to Isaac, by the way.
Shout out to Isaac, for cooking up these trades and stuff. But I do agree. I like the idea of getting Vassell. You get a young scorer. I mean, he's battled his health problems and stuff like that. Injuries and stuff. Keldon Johnson again, expiring contract. He's really good. Multiple draft picks from the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, that would make too much sense. I mean, you got Giannis, Wembanyama. You want to slide Cornet. Cornet's
and if you think about it too, it makes sense for San Antonio because look at Stephon Castle. Between Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper, who are you going to keep?
Dylan Harper.
I would keep Dylan Harper because Dylan Harper can shoot the ball. Stephon Castle's a liability offensively. Few years from now,
until he gets a jump shot.
A few years from now, Stephon Castle, I mean, if he develops a jump shot or not, he's going to be an offensive liability for the Spurs. So Dylan Harper makes the most sense because I think Dylan Harper's got the most upside, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think he's got the most upside.
I'd agree. And like I said, it's nothing against Stephon Castle. I'm just not really sold on him.
Right.
I'm not really bought into his hype. That's nothing against him as a player. I'm just not fully bought into it because he hasn't developed enough of an offensive game for me to respect that. Because I get players, each player's going to have their own thing. Some players are better defensively, some players are better offensively. But at the same time, I mean, if he's going to be a two-way player in this league to last, he's got to have some sort of offense. He needs a three-point shot. Yeah, it's got to be more consistent. It's got to get better. The efficiency has to get better.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. I just think with it makes sense because now the Bucks can rebuild for their future if they get Stephon Castle. Now they have somebody to build around. You got KPJ who's still going to be there. You got Ryan Rollins. Miles Turner.
AJ Green.
Use AJ Green. So you can start the rebuild. I think Stephon Castle fits well with Milwaukee. Dylan Harper, he provides that floor spacing out there.
Yep.
If you keep him, Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Harper, years to come, they're going to dominate the NBA.
All right, and real quick
100%.
Before we transition on to the next topic, I just want to say this, though. So you think the Milwaukee Bucks need a rebuild?
I think they need to move on from Giannis.
You think they need to move on from Giannis?
I think they need to move on from Giannis because you can see it in Giannis's body language. Like, yeah, he said that all these years, but I think this time around, he's done. I think he's done.
Yeah, I don't think he's done.
I think he's done.
He says he's done, but he's not.
I think he wants to compete.
I think they might. Who knows? The Bucks may make a surprising move. Who knows?
So Giannis is going to be content with one chip. He's made it clear multiple times he wants to win. He is not going to win in Milwaukee.
I'm very aware of it. But again, loyalty triumphs that. Doesn't matter.
I'm not denying that, but I just think that he wants to compete.
If you're a ride or die for someone, you're gonna ride or die, right? Doesn't matter if you win one chip, right?
Yeah, but what if you're not happy? But what if you're not happy?
Well, I mean, look,
so you're gonna stay in something that in which you're not happy.
Well, again,
you can clearly see Giannis is not happy with Milwaukee.
Again, that just depends on the person. That depends on the person. Giannis has said it multiple times, but look at his actions. That's why I'm not sold on it.
We'll see.
I ain't sold on it, man. Till I see breaking Giannis is traded, I'm not sold on that.
Yeah, it might happen. It might happen.
I ain't bought into that, but
yeah. Leave a comment in the comment section and go ahead and if you're enjoying this episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Transitioning over to CP3.
At the time of this recording,
CP3 was booted out by the
LA
Clippers at 3 a.m. in Atlanta during their road trip. Unfortunate ending for his tenure with the Clippers. Again, I don't know what else to say, but this just shows you the Clippers are a dysfunctional franchise.
We can say that about a bunch of franchises.
No, they're dysfunctional. Look what they did to Blake Griffin.
Well, yeah,
Blake Griffin. They gave Blake Griffin this video. They just showed him like, we want you to be the face of the Clippers, and what happens? He gets traded to the Pistons.
Yeah.
You're telling me you want this guy to be your future, the best Clipper ever, and then you ship him out.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And then Chris Paul, the guy who's guided your franchise, who took the Clippers to the postseason. You just boot him out like that? You just say, "See ya. We don't want you anymore." And then Lawrence Frank got the nerve to say, like, "Oh yeah, well, it's not on him. Bro, like, why are you going to do that to one of your greatest players of your team's history? The Clippers had nothing Chris Paul was a Clipper. He made the Clippers.
Yep, I agree.
Blake Griffin made the Clippers.
DeAndre Jordan.
But those
Lob
two
City,
players,
yeah.
those two players especially.
Also, too, I would say DeAndre Jordan too.
No,
obviously, but not on the star level.
But no, I'm talking about this. Yeah, it just, to me, it does not make sense why the Clippers did this. I don't understand it. And there were reports that CP3 was being quote unquote disruptive because the Clippers were 5-16 at the time of this recording. Well, now at 6 and 16.
Yeah, they beat the Hawks, yeah.
Yeah, they beat the Hawks, but he was being disruptive. He was holding players accountable. He was holding coaches accountable, and he gets booted out.
So
there's no accountability within that Clippers organization. None.
So I guess this comes to the true question though. Okay, so was CP3 the main problem, or do you think he was just a scapegoat for the Clippers having a really bad roster?
Scapegoat.
You think he's a scapegoat?
100% scapegoat. 100%. 100%. You know, because the Clippers don't have accountability on that team. Kawhi Leonard's got away with so many things, not playing. Steve Ballmer,
paid all that money.
Yeah, getting paid all that money underneath the table for a fake company.
Yep, and nothing happened.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the Clippers have this. The Clippers are cursed. The Clippers are 100% cursed. It's unfortunate that, you know, CP3 had to go out and end his Clippers career like this. You know, it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
21 seasons, this guy's giving your franchise everything, and you just do that. Pitiful. That's pitiful.
Man, I say it louder for the people in the back.
Pitiful.
That's
pitiful.
Man, that's pitiful. I've never seen that animated.
No, it's man, because it's disrespectful.
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. I mean, we could say that. I mean, well, no, we can't.
No, we can't. No, we're not saying this.
But I mean, I guess it sets a precedent for star players. You know what I mean? Like, we have to look at the star players in this league. Look at the Russell Westbrooks. We look at the DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, and
we look at these players.
And look at the Clippers. Look what they did to Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook wanted to stay in LA. But what did they do? They traded him to Utah. You have a player telling you, hey, I want to stay with your franchise. And then you just boot them out like that?
Yeah.
How disrespectful are you?
I mean, if anything,
to Lawrence Frank and Steve Ballmer.
I mean, if anything, you know, when we talk about this and how it impacts his legacy, I mean, I look at it like this, you know. At the end of the day, the man, he's what we know CP3 for, you know, one of the best passers of the game has ever seen, right? He's smooth finesse when you know, especially in his younger days. Lob City, you know, all those lobs with him, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. That's what we'll associate CP3 with. I truly think that this, it doesn't. People think it's going to have a huge impact on his legacy. I don't think so, because if anything, it'll improve his Hall of Fame stock. You know, because at the end of the day, yes, it's unfair to be treated like that. You know, obviously, you know, for what someone like CP3 has given to the game, especially for us, you know what I mean? You look about, we watched him growing up when he was started off in New Orleans when they were when they were the Hornets, right? And then he, you know, obviously got traded to the Clippers and all that stuff. But it's just unfair. But I always think about it like this, you know, if CP3 had gone to the Lakers, would we be talking about this?
Well, obviously not.
Obviously not.
Obviously not.
So, do you think the Lakers would have treated Chris Paul differently than the Clippers? What do you think about that?
Is that even a question?
I'm just asking. I'm asking. Can I ask a question? I'm just asking you.
No. You've seen what the Lakers have done before.
Yeah.
They don't treat their stars with disrespect. The Clippers have treated their stars with disrespect.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a it's sad. It's a harsh reality. It is a harsh reality of it. You know.
But the reason why the Clippers are booting CP3 is because CP3 is holding the Clippers team accountable. He's holding the organization. Steve Ballmer, Lawrence Frank, Ty Lue. You know, he's holding the players accountable.
I think it was just, yeah, I agree. I think it was all just like, hey, I think this could be done better. We need more organization from the top down, maybe like adjust these rotations and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think Tyronn Lue, because I heard that they weren't at the time of the recording, they weren't on speaking terms, whatever. You know, I mean, you know, it's unfair for someone who's, you know, who plays the game with such passion. You can see he has a genuine love for the game.
And the reason why I think that Ty Lue didn't want to speak to CP3 is because CP3, when he speaks, he comes from a place of passion, like he cares, and it comes off as, I don't know how you can say it, but like very, very arrogant, like very like pushy, so to speak, aggressive. But he wants to win, and the Clippers couldn't handle that. Accountability. The Clippers have no accountability within that franchise.
They're not a winning franchise.
None. They're not
a winning franchise.
That's why they'll always be the little brother of LA, because Steve Ballmer apparently can hand out Kawhi Leonard some money underneath the table. Nothing happens. But with the Lakers, LeBron James is out. Oh my God, it's LeBron. Like, nobody pays attention to what Kawhi Leonard's doing, but they pay attention to what the Lakers are doing. Well, and I get it, and I understand it.
Because the Lakers have all that respect in the Clippers.
But let's give that same energy to the Clippers. The Clippers suck. They stink. That's the bottom line. They stink. You went out there and you traded Norman Powell for John Collins. No disrespect to John Collins.
But that trade was pointless.
But no, Norman Powell's balling in Miami right now.
It's actually like 24,
and he
25?
And he went on a and he scored 30 points against you guys the other night.
It's a shame, man.
Yeah, it's like
Clippers don't know what they're doing. I don't know if like management just needs to change or something. I really think that they need to. I don't know if I'd fire Ty Lue. I don't think that's the issue. I think you need to restart the organization from the top up.
I think what happens, you got to start from the top up, and I do think that there needs to be a culture set.
Lawrence Frank needs to be gone.
Yeah, 100%. I think Steve Ballmer needs to let him go, because guess what? You helped you helped the NBA when you gave the Thunder all your picks for an MVP right now in Shai Gilgeous. All those picks.
That was a boneheaded move.
To get only a second round. What is it? A second round
exit.
Second round exit.
Yep. That's a shame. When you look back at that trade, it's like, whew.
You gave up way too much for a future MVP, man.
Yeah.
And so,
all because Kawhi Leonard told you, to trade for Paul George. And you traded for a subpar all-star.
And look what Kawhi Leonard's done to that Clippers franchise.
Look at Paul George too.
No, but look what Kawhi Leonard has done.
He hasn't even played a full season with the Clippers.
He has not played a full season with the Clippers, and he's telling the Clippers, "I want this, I want that." But then when we go out and get Paul George, you're supposed to go out there and deliver a championship. I understand at the time why you made the move. I understand it. He's Kawhi Leonard. He just won a chip in Toronto. I get that.
Yep.
But he needs to be held accountable, and Kawhi Leonard has not been accountable. I love the guy. I'm not disrespecting Kawhi Leonard. I'm not putting slander on his name. I'm just saying the Clippers have done a poor job at holding him accountable.
Yeah.
There's no accountability.
Yep. Yeah, it's just the moment he got to the Clippers, his whole attitude started changing. It's so funny. It's very subtle, but I started seeing Kawhi Leonard, who never complained about calls and stuff like that. The moment he got traded to the Clippers, he started, being more vocal and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny. You know what I mean?
And CP3 really, all he wanted to do was he just wanted to finish his career with the Clippers. That's all he wanted to do, and the Clippers ruined CP3's taste with the Clippers. With the franchise.
I mean, at the end of the day, CP3,
and Blake Griffin, and Norman Powell, and PJ Tucker.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, like that Clippers team was really good. It's just again, it's just lack of organization from
no organizational structure.
Yeah,
there's no structure within that organization. People can run amok. They could do whatever they want. Nobody's held accountable, and this is what happens. This is why the Clippers will always finish in the second round every single year. This year, they might not even make it in the playoffs.
And guess what? And you know where that pick ends up to? The Thunder.
That's what I'm saying.
So the Clippers better start winning some games.
They better start winning, because right now the Thunder are just looking like. I know I called them overrated, and I kind of
they're like, thank you.
Yeah, I take that back, but I mean, it's like, man,
they're literally saying, thank you, keep losing.
Yeah,
please keep losing.
Yeah, we will take all those.
We might get the number one pick at this point. But see, and it's funny that we didn't talk about this one. The Thunder also have a lot of assets to move for Giannis. If you really think about it. They have a lot of assets.
But they would have to give up Jaylen Williams.
Yeah, well, it's Giannis. It's
And
Giannis.
I don't think the Thunder are going to break up that core.
I doubt it, but I mean, they do have a lot of assets.
They do
trade
have a lot of
multiple
assets,
picks,
not denying
J-Dub, whatever, Chet. But that it's a story for another time. But again, I think that raises the bigger questions. The biggest question of all: do the Clippers have an issue respecting their superstars? Yes, because they always blow it. And I think Kawhi Leonard does not respect the Clippers franchise.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't respect it because he just came in there. He just acted like he's the boss, and he's just
selfish.
like, all right, I'm gonna do what I want,
Yeah.
And you're Kawhi Leonard, which I totally get. If it's Kawhi Leonard, I understand you like you gonna listen to him, but you have to have some boundaries with that. You know what I mean?
Uncle Dennis, man.
Yeah, it's like Uncle Dennis.
Uncle Dennis, man. Asking for these.
But it's just like, again, it's like one of those things. If I were to look back at it, if I'm the GM at the time of with the Clippers, and Kawhi saying like, I want Paul George, I'm like, no, we got potential future superstar here, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. No, we want to keep him.
But that's the thing, though. Like Lawrence Frank, I think at the time didn't want to give up SGA. They didn't want to give it up.
Ballmer proved it.
But Kawhi Leonard said, in order for me to sign with the Clippers, you're going to need to trade for Paul George. So what did they do? Give him a haul of picks, SGA, for
an injury-prone
superstar. But that season, if we really look back, Paul George was what, in the top 3 in MVP talks that season?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was. So I mean, I can understand why, but in hindsight, that was a bad trade. Bad trade. And to throw CP3 under the bus and say like, you're basically saying like, oh, we're gonna let you go so that way you can stop all this being disruptive to the franchise. It's pathetic.
Yeah,
it's pathetic. Blake Griffin, CP3, they did Lob City dirty. Norman Powell, they did him dirty. It's just dysfunctional out there.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on and on. We don't want to beat a dead horse, but we kind of get where we're coming at. It's a bad taste in CP3's mouth and bad taste for any superstar who wants to go to the Clippers. That's the bottom line.
Right, and that's why nobody wants to go play for the Clippers.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line.
I mean, I guess the other topic we got to talk about, we got to revisit this hot cake. Yeah. You remember this one?
Yeah, I remember this one.
You remember this one? Man, I mean, like, I'm going to have to revisit my thoughts after what I've been seeing recently. This involves my Celtics. So I think I need to ask this question. Is Jaylen Brown proving he's a franchise cornerstone?
Yeah.
If you asked me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I would have told you no. But you know what? As much as I don't want to, I'm going to have to eat my words. I'm going to say, you know what? Jaylen Brown looking like he is the superstar. I mean, these last 4 or 5 games, you beating teams like Atlanta, New York, Orlando, Cleveland.
Orlando's resurged. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, on our previous episode, we were giving Orlando the... But, they've actually been playing pretty good.
And if you haven't checked out our latest episode, be sure to check it out on our channel. But yes, I do agree that, Orlando's research, but I want to focus more back on the Celtics and revisit that topic. So I guess we need to really revisit that and go dig a little deeper, because we had a disagreement at that, and I didn't want to believe it, but I'm not gonna lie. Jaylen Brown's starting to turn to my favorite Celtic. As much as I love Jason Tatum,
I told you.
Jaylen Brown is like.
I told you. Like I said,
he's got that dog.
Yeah, I remember. I said that Jaylen Brown is the man of the Celtics,
and he's not a 1B in this league. He's not a 1B.
He make Jason Tatum look like a 1B.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is 1A. Jason Tatum is 1B. They gave Jaylen Brown the $300 million contract. So the Celtics are seeing something that we're not seeing.
Probably. No.
And that's just my suspicion. That's just my opinion. But the Boston Celtics have always belonged to Jaylen Brown, in my opinion.
Exactly. And like I said, I do agree with you now on that topic, as much as it was painful for me to come to the realization because I was in denial of it. But his usage rate has gone up. He's being used way more this year. Obviously, with Jason Tatum out, he's being... But just looking at these last few games, I mean, he's averaging like, what, 29 points? About 29, 6, and 7. So I could be wrong with those numbers at the time of this recording. But he's a man on a mission. And he got a triple-double against the Wolves. No, against I think it was Wolves or Cavaliers, whoever, at the time. I mean, that man is on a mission. So I think Jaylen Brown's doing something that Jason Tatum didn't do. And don't get me wrong, I think, you got fire and ice with both of them, right? Obviously,
100%,
Jaylen Brown's the most fire. Jason Tatum's all ice, right?
100%.
But at the end of the day, like, you need that fire to counterbalance that ice. You need that, and vice versa.
Right.
So Jason Tatum complements Jaylen Brown. So I think from that standpoint, that's where I was kind of having an issue because I think that they counterbalance each other really well, right? Because we know Jason Tatum's quiet and smooth. Brown's just, he's a dog. He's going to go for it. He's going to be in the trenches. And that's nothing against Jason Tatum. But we really need to take a look and see, like, what, I guess to pose the question, when Jason Tatum does come back, if he ever does come back, how does this affect the Celtics? You know what I mean? Because, look, they're 8th right now at the time of this recording. They're 8th. I'm genuinely shocked. I did not think they'd be 8th. I thought they'd be a little bit lower, right? But they've had good games. They've had bad games. These same things, same issues, shoot themselves out the game. But I guess, what do you think what happens when Jason Tatum comes back? How do you think that'll affect them? As a Laker fan, because the Lakers are playing the Celtics tomorrow at the time of this recording.
Yeah. I still think Jaylen Brown. I think when Jason Tatum comes back, they're going to give the ball to Jason Tatum. That's just what I think. But like I said, it's always going to be Jaylen Brown's team. Jaylen Brown has always been a 1A in this league, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jason Tatum is a co-star in this league. He is a co-star. You put him on any other team in this league, he is a co-star. Yes, he's skilled. Yes, he's a great scorer. I'm not hating on Jason Tatum. For those of you, I read your comments. I do not hate Jason Tatum. I don't. I just think Jason Tatum is not this superstar that we think he is.
He's still a superstar regardless. But I do agree with you. He's a 1B.
He's a 1B in this league.
I agree.
He's a 1B in this league. I think the offense is going to continue to revolve around Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown's probably going to take a back seat, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because,
but if we look at it, too, like I said before, in the postseason, it's been Jaylen Brown has always been the man. He's shown up in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've seen him in the postseason. I see Jaylen Brown. I see him. I don't see Jason Tatum. You had some games where he put up almost a game, triple-double almost.
Yeah.
He had a 50-point game against the Sixers. I'm not denying all that. But when it comes down to it, the lights get bright. I just don't see him. I see Jaylen Brown, but I don't see Jason Tatum. I just don't.
Yeah.
To me, Jaylen Brown is the alpha of that team, and he's the 1A of that team.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions to ask. I guess we got to really revisit the pecking order when it comes to the Celtics in terms of scoring. Because, obviously, Jaylen Brown's always going to be, as of right now, he's going to be the number one option. But when Tatum comes back, obviously, it's like you said, it's going to flip.
Right, he's going to take a step back.
Personally, I prefer, I like Jaylen Brown a lot more. Yes, one of my issues with him, when he got drafted was his jump shot was shaky, but he's proved a lot better. His left hand's still shaky, but there's no denying that man is going to attack the rim with ruthless vengeance. He's going to go in, he's going to go for the foul, and he even complained, like, where are my foul calls? You know what I mean? For what I do, I think I deserve at least some fouls.
Didn't he say, what'd he say? He said, after he scored his 12,000th career point, he said, I don't know how LeBron James scored 40,000.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how the hell he scored 40,000. I was like, damn, man, Jeez, it's crazy to imagine that, man. But again, I think Jaylen Brown would be averaging way more without Jason Tatum. Now, if you ask me this question, can Jaylen Brown lead the Celtics to the finals? Yes.
Right.
Absolutely, I think he could. Jason Tatum? No. That's a little shaky.
Yeah, no.
It's a little shaky. As much as I love him and I really want him to, and he is still vital to the Celtics, I just don't think he can carry. Again, I said this in the past, I think that they could both carry a team, but after looking at this game, the way Jaylen Brown's playing, the way he's put them on his back, he's proven to me, it's like, man, this dude can carry a team into the playoffs.
Jaylen Brown is one of those, he's a 1A in this league, and Jason Tatum, he's going to be a co-star. That's just, it's the truth. He's a co-star in this league.
Because his name gets overshadowed.
And I've said it, and I'll say it before, and I'll say it again. I don't hate him. I'm just saying Jason Tatum is a secondary star in this league. So he's 100%.
So
and not what? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, franchise player, Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown?
Jaylen Brown. I'll take Jaylen Brown.
Franchise player?
Franchise player, Boston. Yeah. Jason Tatum,
That's tough.
Yeah, Jason Tatum's the more skilled. We're not denying that.
No,
he's the
skilled.
more skilled. Jaylen Brown gives you a little bit more of, I feel like he gives you a little bit more of everything.
Jason Tatum, yeah.
Yeah.
They're both good defensively, but in terms of like efficiency, Jaylen Brown is like, did you see his last stats? Like 10 of like what? No, 11 of 17, 11 to 18 with like 30-some points.
Mm-hmm. And in the postseason too, it's always been Jaylen Brown. It's always been Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum hasn't been there.
Yeah. He's still pivotal. He's still important.
He's important, but lights get bright. Am I going to trust Jason Tatum? I don't think so. I take Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, who hit that game-tying shot in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Semis 2 years ago?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Yep. Who made that pivotal play to get Derek White that open three? Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
There's so much. We can go on and on, but I think, we really did need to revisit that because, again, I was in denial of it, but now I'm in agreement with you.
You saw the light.
I saw the light. I saw the light.
You saw the light.
I came out from the closet, and now I'm here.
You saw the light.
I saw the light. I was in denial, but I saw the light. And, yes, I do agree that Jaylen Brown has proven to be a number one option over Jason Tatum. As much as me being a Celtic fan saying that hurts, I have to come to terms with reality, and I want to speak for every Celtic fan out there. I think we're all in agreement. There's no denying his impact, but we got to look at the reality for the situation. I think Jaylen Brown could carry this team into the playoffs. He might even carry it to the second round. He really could. The way he plays, the way he scores the ball at this rate, better be careful of the Celtics because the Celtics aren't playing around. And I thought, I didn't think they'd be in the play-in, but man, they're really playing good. They surprised me.
Yeah.
So.
Jason Tatum, get healthy, man. I hope to see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
See you next season. Well, that wraps up today's episode.
Yeah.
You guys enjoyed the show. We dropped some value today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Drop a like and show your support. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next week with some more heat.
Sounds good. Thank you, y'all.
Good night, guys.